Hey guys, it's Daniel. Welcome back.
So I got one question about Reinventing the Steel. It ended
Mhm.
up turning out to be Pantera's last record, obviously. Was there
Mm.
any sense that that could be the case when you were working on it, or did that surprise you guys?
It hit us out of the blue. No, we didn't have a clue. We always thought, hey, we'll come back and do another Pantera record.
Hmm.
But other things, drugs happened.
Yeah. But I mean, if I'm not mistaken, and correct me if I'm wrong, I mean, weren't drugs part of the story throughout it? Like, did it get much worse by the end? Was that the main thing?
I would say it was a common theme, not so much with Diamond Vinnie, but with the other members of the camp. Yeah, I would say that was a common theme throughout things. Alcohol, most definitely,
Hmm.
for sure, was a. I mean, that was breakfast, lunch, and dinner for some of us. That's that. But yeah, it was the whole lifestyle. And we used to have a saying, drink it or wear it. It was, dude, one of the reasons, like Tim was talking about earlier, about them going to bat for us when Terry was saying, well, I'm not sure I need these guys, was because we could keep up with them.
Gotcha.
We could be mentally on the same page as them and not flinch.
Mm-hmm.
And so I think that was part of it too. And if you could do that, they not calling that any kind of a great accomplishment or a great badge of honor, but it was something that, hey, this dude can keep up with us and still do his job. We need to bring him on board. And I think that's how they looked at it. It was a nightly thing. We had to drink just as much as the band did and be on the same page. That's how we got close as we did. They wanted us on the same page mentally.
It definitely was all for one for all. I mean, I had it expressed to me, look, you're gonna go. And I think I mentioned this to you as well, Daniel, earlier, was that it didn't matter whether we were going to go see another band perform somewhere or if we were going to just go have dinner in some cases. We did that as a collective group. It was never, Dime is going to go have dinner by himself and Vinnie Paul is going to go have dinner by himself or with his friends.
Everything together.
Everything was together.
We would go, when I would go on tour with them, and we would be on tour with each other for 3 months in Europe and be miserable and want to come home, and we'd be all at each other's throats like you do when you live with somebody in a bus for months on end. And then we would literally fly home from Europe and be like, I need a break, blah, 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 blah. And it wouldn't be like that. It would be like, all right, we're going to head home, get your drinking shoes on. We're going to go. We did everything together for years.
That's awesome.
On end. And it wasn't, I hate you. It was never like that.
That's so cool, man.
It literally was a brotherhood, if you want to think of it as that.
That's awesome.
It really was.
Not to be sentimental or anything, but I think that changed my life. That right there, when I said, that record changed my life, I think that was a part of what changed it for me, was because I was really used to being, the hired gun that was coming in. I was hired to make records. That's what Sterling and I did. Mm-hmm. But with them, it's like, no, you're going to be a part. If you don't want to be a part of that, no foul, no harm, but you're not going to be here with us. If you don't want to participate, there's no room for you to be here.
Yep.
And so we learned very quickly. And I quite honestly, Sterling, I never really thought of it that way, but I think there's some great truth in the fact that maybe the fellas kind of looked at Sterling and me and saw that we were willing to go the distance every day, including, keeping up with them, whatever that meant. On some cases, it was like, I need for you to run to the grocery store and go get us some groceries.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
Whatever. Whatever.
Lovingly, hey, send me. Let's go. Let's go do this. We got stuff to do.
So, Sterling, do you remember working on Revolution Is My Name?
Oh boy, do I.
What was that like for you, man?
It was great. It required a lot of work. I remember it being a very long, drawn out process. This is when we started jumping off away from 2-inch tape and back into a digital format. This actual machine right here, the very one,
Really?
an Otari radar. Yeah.
Huh.
That very machine right there was the one that did Revolution Is My Name. And we would we worked on that song a lot. There was a lot of they were kind of getting off into some territory where that for that whole album they were very adamant that they wanted to make it kind of not retro sounding, I think is the wrong word, but they wanted to make a nod to the forefathers, the Black Sabbath, everybody, all of their influences, and they were really tipping their hats in that direction. And so Revolution Is My Name is about that. It's about some of that stuff that they were influenced by. And that song, just the intro, I remember me and Dime working on that intro piece where he's doing all of those pinch harmonics and it's going up and down, and we've got that timpani sounding drum in there and a kettle drum, and it's just this huge epic bunch of stuff going on. And I remember me and Dime working on that for a couple of weeks.
Really?
Just to get all of those guitars to sync up just right and double up just right, because at the end of the day, the reason that so much work was put into these things guitar-wise was because it had to be meticulous, because he was one guitar player in the band. He was the guy, but he wanted it to be massive, and so he didn't want it to sound like a two-guitar player band where there's kind of a looseness there. He wanted it to be as tight as possible. It feels like it's one performance, as tight, doubled as tightly as possible, if that makes any sense. So a lot of his parts were meticulously crafted in a way that it sounds like one guy, So
yeah.
Which, by the way, if you guys will allow me to kind of step in, that's
Absolutely.
how Far Beyond Driven was as well.
Yes.
I mean, I still have guys to this day, when we break it down, to listen to the multi-tracks, they go, oh my, I had no idea.
Yeah.
I had no idea that
So
this is
tight.
more than one guitar part.
Mm-hmm. They are that solid with one another. Whereas usually when somebody goes back and stacks something in the recording studio, it's a little loose. You can hear it give and take. But with Dime, it was just tight, watertight.